Hey, what's going on, guys? Tactical Civilian here, also known as Ben. Today I'm joined with my brother Jack.
What's going on, guys?
And today we got an important topic that we want to talk to you guys about, and we're going to be talking about home defense weapon and which one is best for you. So let's hop straight into the video. Alright guys, so talking home defense weapons and what is the best home defense weapon for you. I'm imagining the people out there watching this video probably are already into 2A community stuff and they probably already have a home defense weapon themselves. But in case you don't, here are kind of the options that you have when looking for a home defense weapon. Starting off over here, pistols, then the kind of in between AR pistols, rifles, and shotguns. Now, let's start off, first things first, with the pistol. I'm also going to make sure of a note that every single gun before we started filming was emptied and every single gun has been cleared of the chamber.
Cleared and safe.
We have no rounds, we have no live ammunition on the table except for the shells on the side of the Benelli. So everything is safe. We triple checked everything. Every single one of us checked the weapons, so we're safe. Moving forward, we have handguns. Right here, we just have a standard Glock chambered in 9mm. When you're looking at handguns, the two most common calibers you're going to come across are 9mm and 45 ACP. Now, what I like about pistols in a home defense situation is that they're very small, they're compact, they are very easy to maneuver around if you're in your home, moving around corners and that sort of thing. They're just a really great go-to home defense. A lot of people use pistols. I don't think I have to even keep going on about how great pistols can be in a home defense situation.
They're easy to just pop right in your nightstand. You can keep them right next to your bed at all times. And like you said, they're just small, compact. They're easy to move around with. You can get a flashlight for your pistols, which will probably be best in a home defense situation because it'll most likely be happening at night. But also, if you don't have one mounted to your pistol, you can also just keep a flashlight somewhere near, and then you can use the flashlight while holding the pistol fairly easily.
Exactly. And so that's exactly why I think a lot of people choose handguns as their home defense weapon. And like my brother just stated, if anything that you choose to have your home defense, flashlight is one of the biggest things, because like he said, if you're going to be getting your house broken into, apartment, duplex, wherever you live, if you're going to be getting broken into, it's most likely going to happen at night when you're not expecting it and you're asleep, so you'll probably be woken up to this, which is also another good point to move into, is that whatever gun you choose, at the end of the day, to be your home defense weapon, you are going to want it to be something that is just the most comfortable gun that you are used to using.
Like my brother said, there's not necessarily the best gun that you can use for home defense. It's just whatever works best for you and whatever you have the most training with, and whatever gun just feels the most comfortable to you, because at the end of the day, you're just going to want to use the gun that you feel most confident with using to save your life.
The one you think you're going to be able to just like really mess somebody up with. You don't want to, I mean, like a lot of people would think a Glock with just a 15 round mag's perfect, but hey, if you're one of those older guys who just loves this 6-shooter and you're confident in 6 shots, then I would use that over something that you're not really practiced with or
familiar with.
Exactly, yeah. Next, moving into the kind of gray area here, we're going to be looking at the AR pistols. This AR pistol is chambered in 9mm, so again, when we're looking at this, it would be a great option for you as long as you had a flashlight mounted on it, because with moving into a more full-size gun, you aren't going to really have the means or capabilities of using that like flashlight technique. Now granted, you could, but spend the time to just mount a flashlight on this if this is what's going to be your go-to gun, because in the frantic moment you're just going to want to be able to grab one thing and be able to have that tool take care of the job for you. Also, a great thing about the pistols / AR pistols chambered in 9mm, the overcompensation of penetrating through walls is still a factor that you need to really frequently think about, but not as much of a factor with the 9mm as compared to a 5.56 or a 300 blackout, right, Jack?
Yeah. When it comes to home defense, the biggest thing you also got to know about is just your situation where you live. depending on whether you live in an apartment, say a duplex, or just you have a normal house,
Kids, how many
kids,
people?
and where the rooms are and where everyone is, you should definitely have a plan on how you're gonna secure your house and your shooting lanes and where you can shoot, and also considering what caliber you're gonna use. Because if you live in an apartment and you're trying to use a 5.56 or say an AK round, and you have to fire your gun, and the bullet can go straight through the drywall into the next apartment next to you or through a bedroom and hit something that you're not expecting it to. So just always remember about the caliber size and what type of penetration you're getting with that caliber.
As well as who's in your house, how many people you have in your house. Children, if you have children, you can't just willy-nilly throw this in your nightstand because they might find it. You might need to invest in a bedside safe or even a safe that you can put into your nightstand, just because if you have little ones running around, then you're not going to want to have guns just out and accessible, because that's just bad gun ownership. Now, if you're like college age or you're a young adult and you don't have kids yet, you maybe have a couple roommates, you're in your mid to late 20s, then it's all right to just have a pistol in your nightstand, as long as you're not telling everybody that comes over to your house where it's at, what are you doing, how it's loaded, where you keep your, like, just have some more common sense and to know, only tell the people in your house who you're comfortable with and who are your family and friends, and that way everybody knows how and where the means of protection is in that house.
All right, so next up we're going to be talking about rifles, and I'd say that these are growing in popularity as to becoming home defense weapons for people.
Very much.
It's a very good platform. When we're talking about rifles, we're talking mainly about the AR style of platform, not necessarily your bolt action or lever action rifles, because those probably aren't going to be your best when it comes to home defense. If you have a bolt action rifle, you'd probably be better just having a 9mm to use as self-defense. But we got two different styles of ARs here. One's chambered, this one right here is chambered in 5.56, and then this one over here is chambered in 300 blackout. Like we were talking earlier about over penetration, you just want to make sure to always keep that in consideration, because both of these guns will easily go through drywall. Same thing if you have something of an AK firing a 7.62 by 39, you're gonna have a lot of over penetration with those type of rounds. But 5.56/223 is always good. Same thing with 300 blackout. Just depends on where you are. If you live in an apartment, it's probably not best for you to be using an AR, because it can easily go into the apartment next to you, above you, anything like that. But most of the pros of a rifle is that they come standard with 30 round mags.
Exactly.
So then you're going to have 30 rounds to protect yourself, and you can always have extra mags loaded up and ready to go.
Real quick question: what is your stance on optics, and like what do you think is, if you're going to go for a AR-15 type rifle for your home defense weapon, what type of optic should I be looking for?
Best optics on a rifle, for home defense situations, probably nothing magnified. Probably most likely just a red dot or some sort of holographic. Like we got the EOTech right here, and then we got a HoloSun red dot on the 5.56. Those would just be good, because if you're inside your house, it's probably going to be close quarters, so you just won't need that type of magnification. And then I would always recommend having an optic on a rifle, even a pistol. There's people out there that say iron sights are the way to go, and if you're comfortable with iron sights, you can definitely do that. But overall, with technology and the way things are now, optics are almost a necessity when it comes to firearms. Wouldn't you agree?
And I totally agree with that statement, and also not to mention just how precise and accurate these sights are getting over the years. They just keep getting better and better. They have the word is, I believe it's, don't butcher me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's parallax, when like the red dot doesn't actually line up if you're at an angle or something. They're like the EOTech, it doesn't have any of that. Some of these HoloSuns and other brands like SIG and those other kind of things that you'll see at sporting goods stores and stuff, they're not as there, but every year they keep getting that window smaller and smaller. So I think it's more than appropriate to have a red dot or some type of optic on a firearm, especially for a home defense situation.
Exactly. And touching on the last subject of rifles, like I was saying, 30 round mags are good, and that's why I think banning of quote unquote high capacity magazines are pretty dumb, because who are they to say how many rounds you need to defend yourself? If there's two people that break into your house and want to steal from you or do your family harm or anything like that, and you're only allowed 10 rounds, well, you're going to have to be precise, and that's going to be a sketchy situation. So I'd way rather have the advantage, because when someone breaks into your house or someone comes into your house that's not supposed to be there, you're completely at the disadvantage. The criminal plans when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, and they already have a plan. They probably scouted everything out, but you do have advantages in what you keep as your firearm, and that you also, it's your house. So you're able to map out how you want to defend it. And even me and my brother here, we have a whole plan on it, how we would defend our apartment if someone were to break in, whether it be the front door, the side door, windows, anything like that. We have plans on how we would defend our apartment and the exact way that we do that.
And we go over it, and if we have any plan changes, we refresh each other, and we make sure everyone that's in the home is addressed on how and what their responsibilities are if we ever get put in a situation like that. God forbid me nor my brother would ever want to be put in that situation, but unfortunately that's just not how the world works. But quick point to what he was making about how the person who's going to be coming to your home, they have most of the advantage because they're going to be doing one while you're sleeping, probably at nighttime. They're going to do it at their own time, whenever they think is the best time. They probably have already scouted you out. They probably already know your routine a little bit. But the one big advantage that you do have is if once you do hear them and you're up, a lot of people then have the instinct of making some noise, turning lights on, and that sort of thing. That is one of the biggest things wrong that you could possibly do. If you're put in that situation, make sure that you leave your lights off, because nobody knows the layout of your house better than you. So if you want to make sure that you keep those lights off and you move through your house, because I guarantee you every single person out here watching this right now can navigate their whole house in the pitch darkness, because you know the layout of your house, and most likely the robber or burglar or whoever will not.
Exactly, and especially if you have a strobe light on your firearm, like right here on this one, I have a strobe light on this one, and if you're in a dark part of your house and you start strobing around, it's going to disorient, and that just gives you an extra advantage. So, that's just the best way to navigate through it, because if you turn a light on and they're in the dark, well, then they can obviously see you, and then you can't really see them. So it's just better to keep the advantage in your favor at any time.
Don't want a fair fight.
Nope.
Someone's coming to do me harm. I don't want it to be fair.
No fair fights.
Exactly.
All right, and last but not least, we'll be talking about shotguns. Over here we got the Benelli M4, and between shotguns and pistols, I'd say those are the two most common home defense weapons that are out there that are used by majority of Americans. Like I said, rifles, ARs especially, they're on the rise, but for the most part, I'd say that pistols and shotguns are still going to be the title holder for a little while. And
still a great choice. I would gladly pick either one of them
Yeah.
for my home defense.
A shotgun's really good just because depending on your round that you're going to be using, I'd say the best round to use for home defense situations would be buckshot. Birdshot's probably not your best bet, and slugs you just have to be a little bit more precise, and then yet again, if you're using slugs, you got to worry about over penetration and things like that. But buckshot's great, you can get a good spread, and if you're someone, you got a nice spread, and
Got a good spread. It's got a good spread.
if you're just someone, it's like we said, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen when you're not expecting it at all. It'll probably be at night. You'll probably just get woken up. And so having something that has a good spread on it makes it so you still want to aim and be accurate, but we all know how it is when you get woken up randomly. You're still a little out of it, and they're not going to give you time to wake up and be ready. So, I mean, shotguns are great in that sense. And like I said, buckshot's probably your best bet.
Very easy to still maneuver around. It's a little bit more of a bulkier side of a weapon, but then again, they're also very easy weapons to use, function under stress. If you're using a pump action, it can be maybe, if you're really, really well practiced in using that pump shotgun, I say go for it, but a semi-auto is what I would recommend out of the two kind of types of shotguns per se. I would also avoid magazine-fed shotguns, just because I just don't think the technology for those kind of shotguns are there yet.
They just tend to jam a lot, and I honestly would say that'd be a plus side of a pump action is that it's hard for a pump action to malfunction or jam, and that's usually caused by user error. So
That's also a good point.
So yet again, if it's a pump action, pump actions are extremely reliable. You just have to put in the work and train with them to make sure that you're extremely functional with them. But again, semi-auto, like my brother was saying, probably a little bit better for you. But depending on what semi-automatic shotgun it is, some of those do tend to jam, especially if they're magazine fed. So just keep that in mind. But if you do buy a good one, like the Benelli M4, you don't have to worry about it jamming or malfunctioning, because that pretty much doesn't happen with the M4.
Exactly.
But as of right now, the shotgun is my go-to as a home defense style weapon. If I was alone, it would probably be a rifle, honestly, if I was by myself. But as you know, we said we do live in an apartment at the moment, so it would honestly probably be a pistol just because of over penetration. But whenever we get to a house, it'll probably just be a rifle. But as of right now, it is going to be the shotgun, because I always have my brother here, so I know that I'll also have his firepower coming down too. And while we're talking about that, what's your go-to?
I would say my go-to would definitely be some type of pistol. As of right now, this particular Glock is not the one that I use. I have an FN 509 tactical that I'm looking to get a flashlight. I want to get one of those Surefires to put under there, not cheap out on any attachments or anything. But right now, I still kind of have just my AR as sort of my go-to, but at the same time, I just have my pistol ready to go at the same time. But I gotta get a flashlight on there to make it super reliable.
There you go. Yeah. No, that's the only thing I really need to get for the M4. It's just a flashlight now.
No,
I got everything for it already, but I just need a flashlight for it. But yeah, the Benelli M4 would definitely be my go-to for my home defense weapon. It's just extremely reliable, and there's tons of pros to a shotgun. Shotguns just pretty much do everything that the rest of these can't. Shotguns are your best bet for close range, and when you're in tight spaces, it's just all around. It's a really good one. So
it's a great choice.
I choose shotgun.
And also, like he mentioned a couple minutes earlier about training with the shotguns, if you're going to choose a pump or something like that, train. He's right about that, but that goes for every single weapon you see on this table, or any weapon that you ever end up purchasing for yourself as home defense. If you don't train, what good is it?
It's useless.
If you buy the $2,000 Staccato because you saw John Wick use it in all his movies and you think it's super cool, and you just put it in a drawer or your dresser or whatever, and you never train with it, it's not going to do you any good. The guy who buys a $500 Glock and trains once a week is going to 1,000 times be more prepared than the dude who bought a Staccato and put fancy hollow points in it or something like that.
And doesn't train with it, exactly. And then that's just the other thing, is you just need to know how to operate your firearm, because the last thing you want to think about, it should just be second nature to load it and put a round in the chamber. Because when this situation, if it ever were to happen to you, the last thing you want to think about is, okay, I need to make sure my magazine is filled up, and then I gotta insert the mag, and then I gotta chamber around. If you have to be thinking about that, then that's what you're thinking about. So you're taken out of the situation, you're not thinking about what's actually happening. So that should just become a second nature, and one of the best things you can do is literally just sit down while you're watching TV or whatever. You can practice loading a magazine, taking it out, loading a magazine, taking it out, loading up your magazine with bullets, just making sure you know how that goes, and then you can get dummy rounds and practice chambering around and doing all that. Whether or not you want to leave one in the chamber, leave them just in the magazine, it's pretty much up to you how you want to store your weapons, but however you store them, just like I said, it should just be second nature. When you grab it, you don't have to think about it, because your mind should be on the situation that you're in, not about how to actually work your firearm in a situation like that.
Exactly, and then basically just kind of round off everything to address the question of what is the best home defense weapon. There isn't one. Really, there isn't. Like we've said multiple times over the course of the video, whatever you are most comfortable with. At the end of the day, comfortability, familiarity, that is your number one strength when you're thinking about a home defense situation. It should be first nature. You shouldn't have to be thinking about, okay, I gotta do this, put my mag in, I gotta turn my sight on, I gotta make sure that this is right, whatever. No, you should be able to pick whatever your home defense weapon is up, and you're not even thinking about how to get it ready to go. Whatever way you store it, chambered, not chambered, sight off, sight on in the corner, whatever. You need to get your plan oriented and then practice it and just make sure that you got it down so that if you ever do get faced in that situation, you don't freeze up.
Exactly.
All right, guys, so I think that's all we got for you today. We kind of just wanted to sit down real quick and kind of just go over home defense weapons, what are your options, and just if you're interested in looking to get a home defense weapon, hopefully we helped you out a little bit and kind of just gave you some basic information over the spread of what you can go and get, and maybe now you have kind of an idea of what you're looking for. Also, I just wanted to say thank you all very much for the support. We posted the Benelli M4 video a couple weeks ago. It's been getting a lot of great comments on there. The couple of you guys who comment on it, I really do appreciate it. They meant a lot.
Go check out this video. It's a good one.
Yeah, we're kind of biased, but it's a good video. Go ahead and check it out if you haven't. Also, go on ahead and leave a comment down below of what your favorite home defense weapon is, what not necessarily what you use or what you have, just kind of what your favorite one is or what your go-to would be once you're able to become the age of getting one.
And if you got any good tips, always leave them down in the comment section so that we can all learn from each other. If you got anything that we missed and you think that it's just good to add, go ahead and put it down there. And we want to have a good community of people that can just talk and give each other tips. So yeah, if you got anything, just leave it down below.
Yeah, no, exactly. And thank you guys very much for all your support. Go on ahead and like and subscribe to the channel for more content. I'm Tactical Civilian, also known as Ben, and we'll see you guys next time.